So Zach, you've lived in Central Ohio your entire life. This is where you're born and raised. What are some of the selling features that you feel like really enhance our community? What do you love about Central Ohio?
Yeah, the biggest thing is it's the balance of a big city and all the things that you can get from a bigger city, but it doesn't feel too big. It feels like that intimate, close-knit community that a lot of people want. That is the reason maybe they don't go to a bigger city. So we have that nice balance of both. When I travel around two of the big cities, I won't name any because I don't want to insult any, but I just get that sense of it's overwhelming, or that it's just too expensive. And then I'm so happy to come back to Columbus, where I get the benefits of those things. I got the great restaurants, the great shops, the arts, the culture, all the big acts of different concerts and things still come right to my town. But it doesn't cost me nearly as much to live here, and I can get a lot more for that in terms of my house, my community. Just money goes a lot farther.
Yeah, no, I'll double down on that. And one of the reasons that we're seeing as much growth as we are is the big gap between cost of living and what people are making through various jobs, right? And so when you have that big gap, people have discretionary income, and they're able to invest into various points of their lifestyle that they feel is important to them. So I agree with you 100%. I will mention some other parts of the country because I've lived in Chicago and I've lived in Southern California. And one of the huge things that really deterred me from calling that place home was traffic. I mean, it would take me forever on 94 in Chicago to get to wherever I'm going. And what I have found living here in Central Ohio for almost 15 years is I can jump on 270 and get wherever I need to go in almost 20 minutes, depending on where I'm at in the city, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and I have that conversation with people who are relocating to Columbus all the time, when we're taking them around and showing them homes, and then they'll ask questions like, what's this like during rush hour? How long would this take me to commute home if I'm, say, downtown and I'm trying to get up to the north side? And I'll say, yeah, we have a rush hour, but unless there's some significant accident, it's going to add maybe 15 minutes to your drive. And they said, 15 minutes? They're like, I'm used to a 2-hour drive to get home in whatever big metropolis, where we don't have that here.
No, you're exactly right. I think traffic in Southern California is you're moving at 5 miles an hour. Traffic here in Central Ohio is you're moving at 45 miles an hour, right? And I guess it's all dependent on what you're used to, so to speak. Yeah. One thing I really enjoy about Central Ohio is kind of the foundation of the economy, right? And I feel very comfortable that we have a situation here where I know that my equity is going to continue to appreciate in Central Ohio. My investments are protected from a housing standpoint. The three major economic factors here, or drivers in our economy, is government, healthcare, and education. And I mean, those three things are always going to produce.
And now tech.
And tech too, right? With Intel and Honda, all their investments that we're seeing here. So I really feel that the foundation is in place for a lot of economic growth.
Yeah, as somebody who's lived here my whole life and studies real estate, that's what we do. I'm putting my money into more assets, into more real estate in this area because I believe so strongly in it. What don't you like?
I'll be honest with you. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. There's a time period of 2 to 3 months in between January and March where I'm thinking to myself, how can I get on a flight and go somewhere where I'm going to get a little bit more vitamin D or sunlight and a little bit more warmer weather? Because I feel like sometimes it can drag a little bit. The good news is the airports are incredibly manageable and convenient for us to jump on a direct flight to South Carolina, Florida, wherever you want to go to kind of get away and get a little bit of R&R.
Yeah, absolutely. Ohioans travel. Anytime you go somewhere, you're going to see a bunch of Ohioans there.
Right.
And that's why. It's usually between that time period.
What about you?
Yeah, definitely the weather. I'd say we've got great park system, but it's not a mountain. It's not an ocean. Mm-hmm. It's not some of those more exciting parts of the country where you've got some incredible nature to go explore. So we do have things, Hocking Hills is too far away. You can feel like I'm somewhere outside of my normal Central Ohio flat area when you go down there and see some hills and see some things. But you mentioned travel. Like for me, I have to have that travel in my life to go see those things, to go see, go out west and see the mountains, or to go to the East Coast and see the ocean. And there's times that I think, I wish Columbus had a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
So I get to fix those other ways.
I completely agree with you. Well, that's great. I'm really glad to hear your insights, and hopefully people have found this valuable as they consider Central Ohio and Columbus a place for them to call home. And if they have any other questions, we're certainly available to answer those and provide our insights as we continue to call this fantastic community ours.
Yeah, absolutely.